Good morning. So, today I wanted to come on and ask the question that I have in the video title. Are you full of yourself? And I know that title is like a little clickbaity, but hear me out. So, when you think about the mass consciousness or pretty much what everybody thinks of when they think of being full of yourself, is usually with a negative connotation, like somebody that thinks they're better than other people or don't care about what other people have going on, somebody that's generally selfish. But really, when you actually think about the meaning of being full of yourself, it is actually you being filled up, you being complete, you being whole, you being healed. And that's actually a good thing. So, are you full of yourself? Are you in touch with the youest version of you? Are you filled up with source, God, divinity, whatever you want to refer to it as? Are you filled up? Are you full? Because if you think about it, we all know that the phrase, you can't give from an empty cup. And that's true when it comes to who you really are and what you have to give, your gifts of whatever you offer to the world. And so if you're not full of yourself, you do not have anything to give. And I know this more than anything because back when I was really people pleasing and just trying to do what looked like made me seem like a good person, I was always resentful. I was always giving from a place of, oh, well, this is what good people do, as opposed to being genuinely in my body, feeling so good about what I was doing. And you can really tell the difference. And the person on the receiving end of that also can tell the difference. So if you're not actually filled up with yourself, overjoyed, overflowing, just radiant, loving life, and you're trying to do something for somebody, something that, especially if it's something that you don't actually want to do, it's going to show. It's not going to turn out as good as it would if you were given from your overflow. And as women, we have a tendency to want to be martyrs. We want to sacrifice. We want to make sure everybody is good, especially like when it comes to being mothers, having children, having people that you think are supposed to be in front of yourself. And the honest truth is, you don't have anything to give if you're not full. If you don't have your cup isn't running over, then what do you have to give anybody? And like the consciousness, the mass consciousness, the thoughts about this are really twisted because it'll really have you thinking that you're supposed to run yourself ragged, that you're supposed to be tired and cranky and just over everything all the time. And that's the furthest from the truth. That's when you have the absolute least to offer. That's when you're not your best. That's when you're empty and you can't give anything. You don't have anything to give. You're running on fumes yourself. And the absolute best thing that you can do in that situation is do something for yourself that's going to get you back to that high vibe, happy, light person that you naturally are, because we all come into the world like that. If you think about young children, how carefree and just knowing of their well-being they are, they're very full of themselves. They are happy, they are good, and the younger they are, the less you can do to pull them out of that. And of course, once they get older and socialize, we have rules that we follow in society and things like that. So you kind of have to unlearn this as you go, because you learn stuff when you get socialized and then have to unlearn it once you realize some of it doesn't serve you. So using kids is a really good example to see what being full of yourself is like. And then also too, even if you want to kind of look at it from the negative standpoint, oh, being full of yourself means you don't care about people, which isn't true. But let's just play devil's advocate here and say, okay, how can you be full of yourself and care about other people? Okay, well, if you are filled up, you know you're good, you're not insecure, you're steady, you're solid, you're going to be the most caring person in the room because you're not in your own story. When you're having this conversation in your head and you're saying, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that, oh, I messed this up, I did this, there's no way you can actually fully show up for anybody else. So, yeah, being full of yourself is actually a good move because you'll have yourself taken care of, you'll be solid, and then you'll be able to actually give to anybody who actually might need your help with anything, who needs you to show up and be who you actually are. And I'm a firm believer that we all are here to interact and commingle and rendezvous with the best parts of each other. But it's your responsibility as an individual, no matter what kind of situation you came up in or whatever happened to you. That's very true and very valid, but not a good enough reason to not fill yourself up. Like whatever love you didn't get from anybody else, that it's not, is once you get gotten to a certain point in your journey, that's your responsibility to make sure that you fill yourself up with that, to make sure you're good. And that is absolutely 100% what all of my inner work has been about, is getting myself on track, getting myself back to who I actually know myself to truly be, to fill myself up with what I like to do, joy, laughter, happiness. I love life. I love being good. I love having something to give. And it's a distinct difference. It's absolutely 100% a distinct difference that you can feel, because running ragged and trying to give when you don't really actually have anything, it's not sincere. And then you get resentful because you're always saying like, oh, well, I gave so and so and so and so, and you keep track. I gave this to this person, this to this person, this to this person, and I haven't gotten anything in return. Everybody used me, blah, 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 blah. And the story goes on. But when you're giving from overflow because you filled yourself up first, you don't keep track. You give because it feels good to give, not because you're looking to get anything in return, not because you are even honestly, when you're giving, like, yes, it's nice if the person changes or if the person is appreciative, but when you're giving from your overflow, that honestly doesn't even matter. That kind of, it becomes secondary to the action of giving itself. And when you move into that place, you can actually truly be happy for other people. I really remember when something would happen to somebody, like say somebody just had a new baby, and like a coworker had a new baby, and I'd just be like, oh, that's nice, oh, good. You will be like saying the words, yes, I'm happy for you, congratulations, but not really feeling the emotion in your body of happiness. You're feeling resentment, anger, whatever the case may be. And that's what I was doing. I was like, oh, well, great, you have a good life, you have this cute little baby, all the things are going well for you. I'm telling this story and inside, but outside I'm saying, oh, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. Just lies. And just like I've said in my previous video, words can't hide what's inside. I'll link that one if you haven't seen it. Go check that one out. There was no hiding. I thought that I was, but there was no hiding because I was running ragged, running on fumes. I didn't have anything to give. That came through. And I'm not in the business of doing that anymore. And I think if that's something that you struggle with, that's definitely something you should work on, is filling yourself up first. So being full of yourself, absolutely 100% a good thing. And it's the only way that you will have anything to give, anything to show up with, anything to be the divine, beautiful, feminine goddess that you actually are. So be full of yourself, honey. All right. You have a good rest of your day. That's our topic for today. I will see you next time. Bye.